Hey, 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 beautiful people. How you do? How you do? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Seems like it's been a minute, but I am your girl, Coach TaShon, your marriage communication coach. Listen, it's been a month. It's been a month, but I'm so glad that I'm here. Welcome to another edition. Welcome to the TLC community. And before we get started, we would like to acknowledge that TLC Coaching is being sponsored by Swagger Magazine. So make sure you go connect with them on all social media platforms. Swagger Magazine, and stop by and drop them. They're an amazing media team. So they are a proud sponsor of TLC Coaching, right? And so again, thank you so much for joining us, joining me. I am back. I am back. I am Coach TaShon, your marriage communication coach, and this is the TLC community. So listen, go ahead if you have questions to ask or whatnot, put them in the chat, and then I will try to get to them after um after this segment and whatnot. All right. So don't be shy about the questions. Just go ahead and put them in there. Listen, you guys, it has been a week. It has been a 2, 3 weeks. I thank you all so much again for your prayers, your support with everything that's been going on. For those who did not know, my husband and I went through some things. He got sick and we were in the hospital, whatnot, but I am so blessed. He's blessed. We are blessed. He's out of the hospital. So it is now, we're in the recovery stage of our new normal and just making some adjustments. But that does not stop our work. That does not stop the TLC work. So again, I was like, well, let me come on back on to Marriage Monday. It's the last Monday of July, y'all. I was looking at the calendar and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it is the last week, y'all, of July. Can y'all believe it? Seems like we just started in July. Seems like we just started, right? So listen, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, social media, my YouTube and whatnot. So if you're unable to join me on one of the platforms, I am available on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. So make sure you go by, subscribe, like, and share if you would. Okay. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. We're wrapping up July. I had to take a little pause and pivot, but that's part of marriage, right? That's part of the marriage journey, and that's what I do as a coach, as your marriage communication coach. I have to keep it 100 with you all, right? So that means I have to tell you, show you some things. And last week, the last couple of weeks, we've been having to pause and pivot. And it is okay in your marriage to pause and pivot because there was a lot of things that were happening, right? So in order for me to be the best coach for you, I had to pause and pivot, right? But I did not stop the work. So I appreciate you all for keeping me encouraged, for your prayers, thoughts, all of that. It was needed. It is still needed. But we still got work to do. Y'all not off the hook. You're not off the hook. All right. So go ahead and get that notebook. What I tell you? Get your notebook. Going over to the dollar. Well, now they didn't raise it up. I think it's on what, $1.25, $1.75. I don't know. But go get you a journal for you and your boo. Go get your journal so that you can take these nuggets. All right. Take these nuggets and so forth as we again talk about this week. We're going to wrap everything up and talk about connecting. Okay. Staying connected in even in the midst of your storm, even in the midst of your marital storm, right? Staying connected because their storms are going to come through. Trials and tribulations are going to come through, right? But the key thing is staying connected. You don't have to be at odds with each other. You don't have to fuss and fight. You don't have to do any of that, right? It will be, it can be challenging. However, you don't have to go through that, and you won't go through that, right? So listen, number one, I want y'all to go ahead and take these notes. Take these notes, okay? Here we go. Let me make sure I have. There we go. I got my notes. All right. So the presence versus the performance, right? So oftentimes, too many of the couples are performing in their marriage. We're performing in our marriage, right? Saying things like the right things, hitting the talking points, showing up on paper, but still missing each other in real life. And that's where the issues start coming in, because it's like, no, we need to keep it 100 in our marriages, right? This is your boo. This is what y'all are together, right? So there's no room for fakeness. You should be able to have these conversations with your boo, right? But again, you have to allow that space. And we're going to talk more in next month about the whole safe space and all of that, because that is very crucial in bridging this communication gap, right? So the thing is, you're missing each other when you're not being honest and just genuine with each other, right? So the TLC truth is, y'all ready? This is where your notes come in. If your spouse doesn't feel seen, it doesn't matter how much you said, you got to ask yourselves, are we showing up to win arguments or to win each other? And that's what's happening. We're trying to outshine our spouse when we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to try to outdo our spouse, right? That's disconnecting. You want to connect. You want to connect. You don't want to disconnect. So when you're trying to outshine your spouse, outdo your out like try to win the argument or whatnot, you're actually disconnecting from your spouse. And the goal is for you to connect. Yes, you may have been y'all may have been together forever and a day, but you hit a bump in the communication. And it's okay. I always like to tell people, just because you hit a little bump in the road, the communication road, does not mean that your marriage is over. It's not over, you guys. All right. That just means you need someone like me, your marriage communication coach, to come in and give you some strategies, some tools, some resources to help you bridge in that communication gap, right? So again, the TLC gentle reminder, the gentle truth is, listen, you got to don't try to one up on your coach. I'm trying to say, hey coach, hey coach Latressa, what's going on? Don't try to one up on your spouse. Don't do that. That's not a marriage. You're on a team. So I'm not trying to outshine my boo, right? If anything, we're trying to win this together. We're in this thing together, right? So therefore, I'm not trying to outdo, I'm not trying to get the last word and all of that. And that's something that I had to learn. That's why I'm your communication coach, your marriage communication coach, because I could tell you honestly, that's something I had to learn. I tried to get that last word in because I'm like, I got to be right. I got to do, got to get my point across. But God had to bring me back and be like, nah, sis, what you doing? That's your boo. That's your team. Like, that's your partner. Why are you trying to up one on him? Right? So again, a lot of times we miss the mark when we're trying to outdo our partner. And that is a no-no. That is a no-no, y'all. Okay. So again, don't stop trying to perform. Stop doing the whole performance and just be present in your marriage. You got to be present. You got to be genuine. You got to be honorable and honest with your partner, right? With your spouse, so that both of you all can be seen and be heard in your marriage when these things come through, so you can stay connected. That's what it's all about, staying connected. All right. Number two, I'm making sure that you all have your notes down here. If you're on Facebook, you should be able to see the notes, and that way you won't have an excuse. I didn't know what she said. What she say? It's right there. All right. Uh, talk slower, listen deeper. When emotions run high, connection runs low. One of the kindest things you can do for your spouse is slow your tone and widen your ears, y'all. That's it. The TLC gentle reminder, you don't have to rush to respond. Pause, the power to pause, y'all. Breathe and respond from a place of love, not ego. Again, we're not in this to try to outdo each other, because again, we have to connect. We're trying to connect, not disconnect. And a lot of times the ego, it will disconnect you from your spouse. Ooh. Mm-hmm. It would disconnect. You would disconnect from your spouse in a quickness with that, right? Don't, again, the emotions, we get emotional. We get all frantic. We want to get our point out across. We gotta say what we need to say. We gonna say what we gonna say, and that's the end of it, right? But a lot of times that's when you start disconnecting from your spouse, because your spouse is like, you know what? I can't deal with all of that. We got some important things to talk about, but that all of that, the drama to go with it. Because come on, y'all, let's be honest. Let's keep it 100. A lot of times it comes with the drama, right? You don't need all that drama while you're talking. You don't need that. Again, the goal is to connect, not disconnect. You want to connect, right? So again, stop rushing to respond. It's okay to sit back and just be like, you know what? And what I tell you about the facial expressions, you can, when you pause, don't pause and be like this. Y'all know how we do. Mm-hmm. Don't pause and be like, your body language. Don't do that. You're gonna pause with sincerity. You're gonna pause with love. You're gonna pause and breathe with, you know what? I really want to hear my boo. I really want to understand what they are talking about, because this affects both of us. It's not a you thing, it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. So you got to work on the facial expressions, you got to work on the gestures, the posture, all of that. That plays a significant part, right? And I talked about this before, because your girl, I'm bad with my facial expressions, right? And I had to be humble. I did. I had to be humble. Yeah, my boo had to humble me, because he's like, yo, I can't talk to you because you look sarcastic. You look like you want to say, and I'm just like, no, I don't. But the whole time my brow is up, right? I'm like, what? Yeah, what? And I'm sipping. Yeah, what? All right. What you gotta say? That was a turnoff, y'all. That was a turnoff. And that had to be brought to my attention, right? It wasn't pretty, because I'm like, okay, now somebody's telling me that my facial expressions, this, that, and that, all this, I did. I got an attitude. That's why I'm able to be your coach now, right? Because I told you I had to go through it. I had to go through it, so I know what I'm talking about. You can't, you cannot, when you're talking to your spouse, chill with the facial expressions, chill with the body language, the negative body language. You understand what I'm saying? Because again, those emotions start running, the adrenaline is pumping, and you ready to you just respond. You're not even hearing anything, right? So again, you don't have to rush to respond. You want to pause. You want to breathe. You want to take that time out, and you want to listen to your boo. That's what you want. That's all you want. That, and your boo want, that's all they want. That's all they want to be. They want to feel seen, and they want to feel heard. They want to be heard. That's it. Okay. Number three, because y'all know I done told you we're not making this complicated. Bridging the communication gap is not complicated, y'all. We do not have to make this journey complicated. And so, as your coach, I'm not going to make it complicated, because I don't like stress. And I know y'all don't want to be stressed. There's too much going on. So, why would I want to stress y'all? Right? Number three, speak with your whole heart, not just your mouth. Your words hit different when they come from a whole place. Sometimes the most healing communication isn't a conversation, it's a hug, a hand hold, right? Or simply saying, I want to understand you better. So here's the TLC gentle reminder. Real connection is built when your heart and action say the same thing, y'all. Says the same thing. Again, it does not have to be complicated. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You just sit there, or you can hug, right? That gentle touch. Y'all, women, wives, y'all know, just slide the little gentle touch. You married, you can do that. Slide the little gentle touch, right? Just kind of bump over, and that can break the ice, because let's be honest, some conversations are difficult. right? Some conversations that you have to have as a couple, as a team, it can be very challenging, but it has to be done, right? But there's a way to have the conversation. You don't have to disconnect from each other. You don't have to fuss. You don't have to fight. You don't have to cuss each other out. You don't have to be sarcastic. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that, right? And so again, the pausing, the pivot, and that's what we have to do in the midst of in the midst of the communication storm sometimes. Okay, so again, I know what I know. What I know. I'm telling you, right? I'm trying to tell you. We don't have to do all that. You don't have to fuss and cuss each other out. You don't have to argue. You don't have to do any of that. Just come with the sweetness, the kindness, the love, the sincerity. That's what you have to bring to in that space. Because again, depending on the conversation, it may be a little challenging. It can be on anything, but it can still be challenging. Yes, you've been together 7 years plus. Yes, you know each other, but sometimes conversations can still be a little challenging. It can. All right. So listen again. Tonight wasn't about just learning how to talk more. It was learning about how to talk better. Right. You're just learning how to talk better, and it's okay. And it starts with listening with love, y'all. Starts with listening with love and leading with truth. Again, you don't have to do what you see other people do, fussing and cussing each other. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. You should not be doing that. And if you are doing that in your marriage, I'm here to tell you to stop it. Mm-hmm. Stop it. There is no reason why you should be fussing and cussing each other out, talking negative to each other, talking down to each other. There is no way. That's one thing I am not condoning as a coach. I will tell you in a heartbeat. We don't do that. We're not going to do that. Not under my watch. You're not. So if you have been doing that, go ahead and chill out, chill that out, eliminate that out your vocabulary, all of that, because again, you're a team. What you fussing and cussing each other out for? Tell me what you doing that for? Y'all married? Mm-hmm. Y'all been sleeping with each other. Y'all been doing everything together, and then y'all want to fuss and cuss at you? No, 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 no. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. You're a team. Things come up, trials and tribulations come up in marriages. But the key thing is you're going to go through them. You go through them, and you go through them together, and you come out victoriously, triumph, right? Because you did it together. You did it together. So y'all stop that cussing and fussing and all that kind of crap. Because I'm seeing a lot of it, and I'm seeing where people are glorifying it. Girl, I had to cuss him out. Why you had to cuss out your boo? I'm not understanding that. Why you had to cuss out your boo? You think that sounds like that's gonna be like I'm gonna agree with it? Because if you tell me that and you're married and you say, girl, I had to cuss him out. If you telling me that, guess what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna correct you in love. Yes, I am. I am that coach. I will correct you in love because again, that's not representative of your marriage. And vice versa. If I hear a husband say, man, I had to put her in her place, had to check her. What you checking? Who you putting in place? Because it didn't sound like that was coming out of love, right? We're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Not in 2025, not in 2026. We're not doing that, right? So again, there is a way to communicate. There's a way to talk better. Breaking it on down, like I'm going to be breaking it on down. There's a better way to talk to each other in your marriage. Simple as that. All right. So listen again. Y'all know I don't make things complicated. I'm not gonna keep you on here long because again, the bottom line is we're gonna have to talk to each other better. We're gonna have to learn how to talk to each other in love, with respect. Y'all are married. Come on now. Stop tripping. Stop tripping. All right. Now, again, if you are just joining the TLC community, welcome. Thank you so much. You should now turn those notifications on, because again, we're about to get ready for August and the rest of the school. I'm about to say the rest of the school year, y'all. Lord, I've been cheering on my educators as they go back in, as they went in today. But listen, for the rest of this year, listen, we're gonna get this thing together, and I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I have an amazing ebook on sale right now for $15. It is Back to the Basics ebook. Talks about bridging that communication gap. It is easy for you to understand. It has reflection questions. Go on to iamtrinetteLcollier.com/shop. It's right there, smack dab in the middle. Cannot miss it. Go ahead and order that right now. And again, um, the next month's fireside chat will be coming up. We had to postpone July's due to unforeseen emergency, medical emergency. So again, that will be coming back in August and so forth. But listen, there are again, and if you're just ready to communicate, if you're ready to bridge that communication gap, connect with me at iamtrinetteLcollier.com. Just connect with me, because what we're going to do in this next season, we're going to keep it 100. Hey sis, how you doing? How you doing? We're going to keep it 100. All right. Um I'm sorry, I'm reading some comments. Too much will break me, and too much will break you. What about us in God? Yes. No matter what I say, I mean, God knows I love you. Yes. And again, you have to, again, those words you have to keep. Yo, when we're talking to our spouses, we have to understand it has to come from a place of love. That's what love is. That's what love is, right? That is what love is. Love is not fussing and cussing at your spouse. It is not that. Kindness, patience, grace, all of that. That's not love. That's not, you're not going to do that to your spouse. Does your spouse make you mad sometimes? Probably so. I mean, they probably do some little things, but is it worth them you cussing them out? Is it worth you just talking down on them? No, you're not supposed to do that. There's a way to handle everything. There's a way to handle everything, right? Everything. And talking to each other, there's a way to handle that. There's a way to talk to your boo. So, y'all get ready for August and moving forward. Listen, coach, I'm going to be breaking it down, because I don't think some of us getting it. Some of us are not getting it. We're still talking to each other like crazy. This is your boo. Why are you fussing and cussing your spouse out? Why are you mistreating, like in the communication? Why are you allowing things to break the communication? It's not to disconnect you, you guys. You got to connect. You got to stay connected, right? And again, there are some topics and conversations that are a little bit difficult. Me and my boo had to have some difficult conversations in this past 2-3 weeks, right? But then we had to pivot, we had to pause, we had to stay connected, and we had to just sit down and say, you know what? This too shall pass. But we are a team. And what we gonna do? We're gonna act like a team. We're gonna get through it, right? And that's what you have to do. Because again, the problems that are happening, the conversations that you have to have, that you feel like it's too big and overwhelming, man, you go in that thing, you say, listen, not today. Me and my boo, we got this. We on the same team. We are here. We're going to overcome this. Y'all, the conversations are breaking people up. People don't want to talk with each other anymore because everybody is so high on their emotions. Nobody wants to listen to each other. I'm just going to keep it 100. Nobody wants to listen to each other, not even in our own homes. We are not listening to each other, and we got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to bridge this communication gap. We got to get back to the basics. Okay? So again, y'all, we're getting back to the basics. I want y'all to make sure y'all follow me Turn on those notifications because I'm just gonna keep breaking it on down. And again, it's not to say, oh, she trying to no, 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 no. I want to break it down to the point where we understand, like, listen, this is the person I love. This is the person that I married. This is the person that I want to go through the storms through, right? But we're gonna work this thing together. We're gonna do this thing together. And it starts with the conversation. It starts with that, just that genuine talk in your own home. Like I said before, we allow so much grace outside of our homes to other people, but when it comes to inside, we just lose it. We just lose it. We could talk to each other. We could bridge that communication gap. Everything that we need to do, comprehension and the communication. That's it. We got to learn how to communicate and comprehend what each other is saying, what we're saying to each other, and it's not hard. We've made it complicated. That's it. We've made it complicated. Okay. So listen, I thank y'all for coming back with me on Marriage Monday. I couldn't make it in the last couple of weeks or whatnot. Again, thank you so much for your prayers. Keep praying for us as we go through this new normal or whatnot. But listen, y'all got work to do. You better go on out, get your notebook, get ready for August. I'm trying to tell you, get your notebook for you and your boo, your writing utensils, because August and moving forward, man, listen, I'm about to put it to y'all. Your girl about to put it to you, because we gonna stop this nonsense in our marriage. We gonna stop this being against each other in our own homes, in our marriage. Where are they doing that at? Oh, they doing that on social media, and they making it normal. That, oh, okay, you see people, you see wives cussing out their husband. You see husbands doing all kinds of stuff, or talking down to his wife. No, we're not gonna do that. Mm-mm. Not as long as you have Coach T. No, because I am your favorite marriage communication coach. We're not doing that. Okay. So again, you guys, we're not gonna make this complicated. It's not complicated. It's not. It's not. It's not. It can be a little challenging. It can. It depends on the topic, the conversation. It can be a little challenging. However, when you make a declaration in your marriage and say, listen, we're gonna get through this thing together, we're not fighting each other. We're going to fight that issue. We're going to tackle that issue together, but we're not going to tackle each other. And you're going to talk to each other with some sense, the sense that God gave you to each other. All right. So listen, y'all. Thank you again so much for joining the TLC community. Make sure you hit the notifications and the follow and whatnot, so that you can stay connected to all things TLC. And get ready for some more activities that's coming up. The fireside chat for August will be posted on the website soon. But we're wrapping up the last week of July. So take the rest of this week and and just do some reflection. Do some reflection of what went really well for July, what didn't go well for July, right? What you want to do for August. Because again, as I tell couples, it's a one day at a time situation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just like you just got to breathe. If things have been happening in the world and it has affected our household or whatnot, um, it has affected our household. And sometimes it can become overwhelming with politics, at jobs, everything. People are becoming caregivers now. People are unfortunately getting sick. The health, all of that, it can take a toll on your marriage if you allow it to. If you allow it to. If you don't stop and breathe, just take a pause, take a stop, just stop, chill. It's okay. That's something I had to do in these past 2 weeks. I had to pause and pivot, but I kept things going, right? But I had to pause and pivot, and it's okay. We could do that. We have permission to pause and pivot, okay? I want y'all to make sure you do that in your marriage. Pause, pivot, breathe, because the emotions are running high with everything that's going on now. People are panicking. It's a lot that's going on. However, you and your boo, y'all a team. Y'all together. Y'all are, what y'all not going to do is be disconnected because of what's happening out there. Okay? You got to stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected. And sometimes that connection means that, listen, it may be silent in your house for a day or two. It may be silent, but don't take it personal. That's when you get to praying. Well, you should be praying, but that's when you just really, you hold each other, you hug each other, grab each other, right? Grab them by the arms, the hands, or whatever, and then you're married. You you y'all know what I'm saying. Mhm, do some things, right? But this is your boo. This is your boo. Don't, no matter what the world is saying, no matter none of that. Stay connected. Stay connected. All right. So listen, I love you all very much. And thank you again. Thank you again for joining me on this Marriage Monday, the last Marriage Monday of July. Let's get ready for August. Woo! Y'all. And if you have something that you want to talk about that you want me to cover, let me know. DM me, email me, Trinette at IamTrinetteLCollier.com. You can slide in my DMs. You can let me know. Say, hey, Coach T, can you cover this topic? Can you let me know X, Y, and Z? If you have something you want me to talk about, let me know. Okay, so we could get this thing together. So we could get this thing right. All right. So I love you